I was able to grow my career into becoming a co-founder of a national franchise brand, then growing it to 35 locations, becoming a VP of business development for a couple tech companies and working with startups. But in my journey, what I saw is everyone was overworked, overwhelmed. People didn't take care of their health. Yeah. People didn't have time for their passions. Word passion was like, wait, what? Who has time for it? Because everyone was just so focused on doing the right thing that was expected for us. So when I thought, gosh, there has to be another way, I started tapping into Albert Einstein, to the teachings on quantum. And I really figured out that there is an easier way, more aligned way, more fun way to be successful and also to combine professional journey with personal development.
Hello and welcome to Pathways Unleashed, a special edition of Pathways with Amber Stitt. The Pathways Unleashed podcasts were recorded with special guests and the authors of The Unleashed Entrepreneur and The Biohacking Entrepreneur, who were celebrating the book launches at the Unleash Your Superpower conference in Delray Beach, Florida in April 2025. Let's join the conversation. So there's a lot to share about my next guest, and 15 minutes is just not enough. I met her about over a year ago, and as more time with her unfolds, so many things, and we're going to talk about how you can really bend time with her, and I will share an affirmation soon about what I will plan to do with her, because we're going to make it happen. And we've been talking about these books with this lovely book signing that we have Friday at the Boca Barnes & Noble. We've been talking about these books. So you got Unleashed Entrepreneur. A lot of our guests are featured in this book, among some others that are bestsellers already. And then we have the Biohacking Entrepreneur. So when we're talking about biohacking today, we're referring to not only there's 2 books, but there's a ton of books out there. And Malvina has also been a bestseller through a Becoming You novel or co-authorship as well. So we'll be talking about that a bit, but I do want to pop your new cover over here. You go. You good?
I got it.
Okay, so we have a world traveler in the house. And naturally, you got a way to prop it. Can you prop it?
Girl, I got it. When
this is not your first.
Will, there is a way.
Because she always had her book propped up. When you meet her in your consultations with her, she'll always have her fancy setup. We're going to talk about, I called you fancy, and I hope that's probably an understatement. But you've made me want to be more me, like more polished. There's more in the world for me. And I know that you're going to help me make that possible. So we're going to talk about that. But Malvina, thanks for flying in. You've been jet setting. You've been around.
I'm trying. It's California to Florida to Paris. That's the dream life.
I know. And I met you last year at it was the Unleash Superpower conference. And it's kind of evolved into wellness advocacy through the biohacking. Plus, we have the Unleashed Entrepreneur folks. When I met you last year, there was this spark and this brightness that you brought. I'm like, I got to talk with this person, this woman. Like, I got to meet her. And then more that we are in a book together at a co-author book. We've been on calls, and just every time you meet her, there's just something there's like an energy that's been brought. And I know that ironically, you're going to talk about quantum. I'm not going to try to explain that. I'm going to let you do a little bit of that. But you really unleash it in the book. So I'm so excited for people to know that about you. In addition, already a best-selling author, entrepreneur, but if you have a calling to do something completely out of your scope, she's going to be the one to pull that into your world and kind of snap it into focus, because you've made some things happen that is just unreal. And you just make it a reality. So I will stop talking, Malvina, and let's talk about, can you share what you not only are we excited about the new book, but I'm just excited for everyone to know what you do. So I'm just going to leave that loaded intro. Let's just kick it off, girl.
I'm so happy to be here. You and I immediately clicked. I love your vibe. And, you dropped my favorite word, which is energy.
Okay, good. Should not pay me to say that.
But the truth is, energy is the currency in today's world. And we can have all the skills we want. We can have all the education and accolades, but if energetically we're not vibing with our prospective clients, with potential partners in a community, we're not going to attract those juicy and lucrative opportunities that open doors.
You're talking about money? I thought you were talking about fashion. We're doing it all.
All of it, right? And fashion is an aspect of it because as a quantum coach, I teach people how to actually open different portals and access them to tap into this quantum flow of abundance, of prosperity, of success on their own terms. And for me, beauty and creativity are absolutely one of those portals. And so fashion lays right there. And me being European, I had to bring it because...
She's kind of cheating. She's European, but you didn't grow up in Paris.
No, I'm actually from Poland originally. So born and raised there, grew up in communistic Poland. So it was pretty dry, pretty gray, pretty dreary, if you know what I mean. It was kind of doom and gloom when I was growing up, even as a kid. We didn't even have candy. Chocolate was not in existence. We didn't know what bananas and oranges were. So I really went from the mindset of scarcity to now teaching people how to really call in whatever they want in life.
This episode of Pathways has been brought to you by Owl. Owl gives you access to new networks and valuable contacts, otherwise unreachable without a referral. Get in touch instantly in real time on a private one-on-one audio call. Search through vetted professionals to connect with the people you are looking for. Download the Owl app today and expand your reach. Did you have this energy and did you have to squash it because people around you were just very serious, because it was serious times?
It's so interesting that you ask, and I'm surprised you even caught up to that, because the truth is why I even moved to America was that I felt the mindset-wise not aligned. And I was really sticking out with the energy of positivity. I was already studying all the greatest in terms of the power of our mind, and I didn't buy into the idea that it has to be this scarcity mindset, this no possibilities, no hope. So I didn't fit in.
I don't want to pull your book too forward, but I'm going to pull the quote. Success doesn't come from grinding harder. It comes from aligning smarter. And this is important that people who feel that they know their true self when they're young. Today's a bring your kids to work day. I'll say it probably incorrectly, but for the younger generation, anyone, any wave of life, like a demographic or generation, people might feel kind of lonely in this space of entrepreneurship, these big ideas. And Albert Einstein was like the OG guy that you were studying, and he's been around for a while, right? We've been studying him for a while. So it has to feel hard sometimes, but you made a choice to go find another culture, potentially to let yourself grow and then build out whatever you wanted, and you did. So cool. So keep going. The aligning smarter, what does that mean to you?
You know, I think it comes from the experience, because even when I came to United States and first started as a glorified waitress, I had a career in hospitality.
A lot of us have done that, yes.
Right? Which I really appreciated. It allowed me to travel and live in places like Alaska and Hawaii and Aspen. But when I made a shift to professional services and I entered the traditional business world, which I felt so proud, like I grew up, I learned that old-fashioned strategies for growing your business, cold calling, pounding on the pavement and knocking on doors. And I thought that was the path. So the hustle, the grind, the climbing the corporate ladder, working longer hours just to prove yourself, just to keep your job, like that was a standard that I kind of entered. And I think it is a very dangerous mentality and mindset and way of operating in business. And eventually I thought, gosh, is this what I was working so hard for? There has to be another way. And I actually got pretty successful doing so.
Yeah, you did.
But it has to come usually at the expense of our health, relationships. And, I was able to grow my career into becoming a co-founder of a national franchise brand, then growing it to 35 locations, becoming a VP of business development for a couple tech companies and working with startups. But in my journey, what I saw is everyone was overworked, overwhelmed. People didn't take care of their health. Yeah. People didn't have time for their passions. Word passion was like, wait, what? Who has time for it? Because everyone was just so focused on doing the right thing that was expected for us. So when I thought, gosh, there has to be another way, I started tapping into Albert Einstein, to the teachings on quantum. And I really figured out that there is an easier way, more aligned way, more fun way to be successful and also to combine professional journey with personal development.
Okay. And business energetics. What part of that? Yeah. What is that?
Yes. So, I think that old paradigm of business is all about the masculine energy, because we have masculine energy and feminine energy. And that doesn't mean that as a woman, I only have the feminine energy. I have both. And the masculine energy is the part that is the doing, that is organized, that does a checklist. It's more analytical, more rational. And the feminine energy is the one that collaborates, masterminds, that tunes into the intuitive guidance, that is creative. And this is the innovator within us. And so the old paradigm of business is all about the masculine energy. But the quantum entrepreneurship is all about balancing the business energetics and knowing when to lead with the masculine energy and be in the doing of things, and when to lean on the feminine energy. And we can do it.
Sounds like you need both.
Yes. Men and women can tap into both, and more men are actually learning that divine feminine aspects of this business.
Okay. You're listening to Pathways with Amber Stitt. For more episodes like this, plus so much more, check out the podcast page at amberstitt.com. Let's take action together. Now let's get back to our episode. Quantum entrepreneurship. Okay, so how are you helping your core client establish some of this? And this is through some of your retreats and really just having fun, trusting themselves. The fashion that I'm seeing online, your photography, where you're going, it's magic. So how is that affecting your clients or even you now? How is that unleashing success for you today?
That's right. I believe that the way we see ourselves is the way we show up. And so in the context of quantum success, embodiment is everything. I mean, you can read so many books on quantum and entrepreneurship, but until you embody it, until you become it, until you feel it in your DNA and your body, you're not going to have that same result. And so retreats and immersive coaching with me is really focused on that embodiment work. So for the ladies, I host incredible She Rises in Paris retreat, which is all about the unlocking of your iconic self, because we all have that next level, all within us. And I work primarily with already high achieving women entrepreneurs who really want to unlock that next level, which could mean writing a book, becoming a speaker, going from hiding to being seen, because maybe you're hiding behind your business, or maybe expanding your impact empire. And then once you come to Paris with me, we even capture this journey with a photo shoot.
I would love to bend time with you in Paris. I will go one day.
Yes.
And I'm not saying I'm not going next year because I'm trying to say it and not do it, but I have to have my daughter be a little bit older, and I haven't been to Paris yet. So I think my husband would rather go with me first. I think I'd get in trouble. We'll talk about that. If it's business, it's business, right?
Right. Well, maybe you leave Paris for your husband first and you come to me to the French castle.
Okay.
For my embodiment retreat.
Sold.
Hello.
Get him there. We'll hang out with my hubby for a little bit. He works with me. So we'll try to do our board meeting there, and then we'll meet you after.
Excellent.
I love this idea. See?
Who wouldn't want to spend time?
See what just happened?
In a castle. And this is this quantum manifestation that we don't say this or that. We find a way to have this and that.
Ooh. So
I got you, girl.
you got me. So for those that are interested, please come find us at the Boca Raton Barnes & Noble Friday if you're local. If not, no problem. You're going to find the podcast later. But how can people find you in general outside of the book?
Absolutely. Well, I'm on Instagram a lot, so you can find me at Malvina Messler. Yes, and you can get inspired through what I put on there. Of course, LinkedIn, also Malvina Messler, and my website, Malvina Messler, and Malvina.
And you work with clients virtually too?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're talking, there's no excuses, international, global, she has you. She's got your back.
I got you. Florida, Europe, anywhere.
I'm so happy you're my friend. I can't wait.
We're going to be in Paris
We will.
soon enough.
All right. You better count us in on that, and we're going to do it.
Yes, we're doing it. You claimed it. You said it's happening, and I know the universe and the quantum vibe is coming to make it so.
You're just going to dress me first before I go.
I gotcha.
I know you do.
Style, personal branding, and unlock your next level, all while enjoying Paris.
Thanks for being here. I'm going to see you soon, later tonight, tomorrow. So
beautiful.
Okay. Thanks, Malvina.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Pathways Unleashed, recorded at OWL headquarters here in Delray Beach, Florida. Join us for more powerful conversations with real people who dare to design life on their own terms. Until next time, keep taking action on your unique path.